Welcome back, guys, to segment number 3 of this $6 buy-in, no limit hold'em tournament. And we are still currently hand for hand, which means one more player out and we make the money. Again, a quick look at the lobby, although I just showed it last video. We're down to 26 players out of 129. Average chip stack is still 15,000, and I've been at 41,000 or so for the past half an hour. I'm now in second place, though, with one player having 60,000. And in my past 2 videos for this tournament, I've done a lot of talking about my personal life and some other business ideas that I've had. And I'm going to try and focus on the tournament now because we are closer to the money, or we're basically in the money now. So we're going to talk about the hands that I do play and not so much about the hands that I don't play. So you can basically assume that if you don't see me playing the hand, it's because I didn't play it. And if you guys have watched the first 2 parts of this tournament, I would appreciate any comments you guys want to leave about anything. If you guys want to ask a question about, maybe my background, my criminal background, or my background in website design. If you guys have any questions or just comments, I'd love to hear them. Again, that's how I, keep in contact with you guys. So from here on out, we're going to focus on the poker. Okay, so ace-3 suited in the big blind. And last hand, I wanted to point out that this player here raised from, early position, and then the blinds folded to him, but he showed his hand, which was king-5 offsuit, like he's, advertising his bluff. And it doesn't mean a whole lot, other than, in my opinion, he's an idiot. Why are you trying to steal the blinds from back there, from out of position? Doesn't make sense to me. And then he goes and shows his hand like he's trying to advertise his bluff, which really he's just showing to me that he's a bad player. Raising with king-5 offsuit from early position in an effort to steal the blinds, doesn't show me that you're an aggressive player. It shows me that you're an idiot, and I'm going to come after you, looser, because you're playing cards like that. So here he is again raising from early position, but I'm just in the worst position. I'm not going to call it. But we'll see if he doesn't get a caller. See if he shows it again. Does not this time. Okay, so Jack-10 of diamonds. I'm in good position. The big blind has a stack that, I can raise. He can still afford to fold. But it's not like I am afraid of a call, because I do have a decent-sized drawing hand. The only thing I'm worried about is the guy in the small blind who, like I said, is an idiot. If he makes a big play at me, then, I'm going to have to fold with just jack high. So 3,000 is my raise, and he folds down to the big blind. And if he goes all in, I will call with the drawing hand that I do have and the chip stack size that I have, but I'll win the pot. So we have now made the money. So I've so far knocked out 6 people, and I have made the money. So my total profit from this tournament so far is, I bought in for $6, and I've so far made $18. We're down to 22 players, but again, I'm just shooting for first place. And if you guys were watching the past 2 videos, and if you were listening to my little rant about the World Series of first-person shooter, the website that I purchased, I wanted to say that that's a brand new idea that I had, that I just came across my mind, and I went and checked it out, and the website was available. Nobody had thought of it before. WSOFPS.com. So nobody had thought of that. So I'm very new into that whole subject, but I have a lot of plans for it. But what I'm looking for, I need to get some ideas going for how to create that tournament, how to make it happen. What I don't have right now is an HD PVR in order to record my gameplay from my PS3. And I know there's some YouTubers out there that do have, the ability to record their gameplay. Maybe somebody would be interested in some ideas we could talk about. Send me an email if you can record your gameplay. And if you're a respected YouTuber, maybe we could work something out to where we could make the World Series happen together. It's my personal belief that, poker and Call of Duty, or not just Call of Duty, but first-person shooter style games, they're very large. Poker is very large, and first-person shooter is very large. So the World Series of first-person shooter could be just as big, and maybe even bigger than the World Series of poker. But right now, really, it's just an idea. Having a bunch of teams playing in the biggest first-person shooter style tournaments ever. And I don't really know how I'm going to make people want to compete in this tournament other than the fact that it's the biggest tournament ever. So I would love to have, money prizes, just like the World Series of Poker. I'd love to have, a $9 million first place, like the World Series would have. But gambling is, I'm not sure of the laws on gambling online. So I've got a flush and a straight draw here. And I bet the flop, hoping that he would check again on the turn, and then I could just check as well and see a river card. But he's bet it cheaply, so I'll just call. And I miss. There's 8,000 out there. He's got 14,000 in his stack. I don't understand why he would try and steal the aggression from me on the turn. I really don't. But I don't think raising here would be a good idea because he doesn't have a whole lot of chips. He stole the aggression from me on the turn, and he fired again on the river. A small bet, looking like he wants a call, but he probably wouldn't fold to a raise, in my opinion. So I'm just going to lay it down and suffer the 2,400 chip loss or 3,600, whatever it was. But back to what I was saying. If anybody wants to talk about their ideas with the World Series of first-person shooter, I'd love to hear them. Send me a message. We'll see what we can work out. Now, if you'll notice, the big blind here only has 264 chips, and knocking him out would mean picking up $2, even though it's only $2. I'm going to make sure that he gets that money in there. So I'm going to raise it up. I've got pocket nines, so he does call. And plus, this guy limped in from earlier position. I'm going to continue here. I could have easily had an ace with my raise there, but he could as well easily have an ace. He folds. So I'll get the side pot, and hopefully I'll pick up, well, I definitely will now. I'll pick up his $2. So just like that, I make another $2 because this is a bounty tournament. So I'm up to a total of $20 being won. I'm going to do another look at the lobby, or the prizes. So I've made $7. I've made $21 so far. $14 for knocking 7 players out, and $7 for payouts. And I'm going to fold this one. And I guess I should also add this. Like I said, I play Call of Duty most of the time. That's the biggest game that I play for a video game. But first-person shooter stands for every type of first-person shooter game, whether it's Halo, Call of Duty. There's tons of other games out there that can be classified as a first-person shooter. So imagine going into a casino in, 10 years or so, when the technology of, video games has increased, so much over 10 years. Imagine going into a casino, and instead of going to a poker room, you go to the first-person shooter tournament room, where you sit down to, instead of playing slot machines, you sit down to, PS3s. And you guys play in a tournament that costs, $15 or whatever it would cost, just like you would play in the World Series. You play in a small tournament, and you play your favorite, Call of Duty game, or somewhat similar. I'm going to raise it up here from good position. I'm going to try and make it look like I'm trying to steal the blinds. So I'm going to lower my raise, which would be, it's lower than a 3 times the big blind raise. So it looks like I'm after the blinds. I would love somebody to play back, but we'll see. Nobody calls, so I'll win a pot. But anyway, imagine going into a casino and playing in a Call of Duty tournament that costs you $30 to get into. You can play with your teammates, your buddies, and if it was linked together properly, if there was several casinos, or maybe even like 1,000 casinos that all were involved together, making the World Series of first-person shooter happen, then you could technically go into a casino and you could sit down at a PS3 and a 32-inch TV, and play in this World Series of first-person shooter. And you could possibly win thousands and thousands, if not even, $1 million tournament is possible. Let's say you got 100 casinos working together to make the tournament happen. The casinos are going to make their money off the rake. The players are going to be excited about $1 million first prize. You can hold satellites the same way you would in poker. I just couldn't pass up that idea of purchasing the World Series of first-person shooter while nobody else has thought of it, because I'm sure somebody would. But again, I've started to ramble on about my other ventures in business, and I'm going to try and get back into the poker, but we're on break, so I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, we're back from break, and I got ace-4 offsuit here. I wanted to point out that this guy here only has, less than a big blind, so I'm going to be playing more hands. Well, that's the exact reason why, because I knew he was going to play, and, it's basically $2 if I knock him out. I have an ace. I might as well limp in. I have a good stack. I didn't hit an ace, but I did hit a pair of 4s. And I'm now going to, I was going to try and isolate, but there's a min bet. I'm not going to go anywhere. I do have an ace of diamonds. Now I do have 4 diamonds. I think it might be a good idea to raise here. I don't think he's going to want to be involved trying to, bet so small. So we're going to do a raise. Try and get him out of there, which it works. Yeah, he's got 3 jacks. I got 3 4s, but I'll win the side pot. So I basically broke even. This guy, quadrupled up, but I didn't lose anything. I actually made a few chips in the way. So big blind, ace-8 offsuit. The blinds are getting up there to 8 and 1600. Although I still have plenty of chips, I haven't done much in the past hour or so. I've been basically at 40 to 45,000 the entire time. I got up to 45,000 very early in this tournament, and I've been staying there the entire time. So I have a limper of a small stack. I have an open-ended straight draw. I would really like to see a 7, rather than a queen. A queen would give a king an easy straight, and there's my 7. I'm going to slow play it. Hopefully somebody wants to bet at it. Now I'm going to take a little bet, just to try and get a little more in there. 2,400. It's a very small bet. Just really would like to see a call, and that's it. Little value bet, and he goes all in. It's not what I expected. Maybe he's thinking that my bet is so small, or maybe he has 3 jacks. Maybe he flopped a straight with king queen. But considering that I bet so small, I don't see how he can or how I can fold. So I am going to call. I got myself in a situation, and he did flop the straight. That's a very unfortunate hand because I asked to see a 7. I got my 7, and he just happened to flop the nuts. So there's a very big pot. Very bad luck. I was kind of forced to see that. I was forced to see my straight. He was able to slow play with king queen, and it worked out badly. But that's poker. And now I'm getting close to the 15-minute marker again. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the lobby, show you guys where I'm at. 24,000 is the average chip stack, so I'm still above average. I'm going to have to cut this video down, but the big blind's only going to have 135 chips, so there's another chance to knock out a player. But I'm just not going to, I'm not going to play with 3-8, even though there's $2 up for grabs against a random hand. I'm not going to do it, so I have to put in 1,600 with 3-8. So I will see you guys in segment number 4 or 3. I'm not sure which it is, but I will see you guys there. Thanks for watching.